Okay, there's Dorcine.
Hey, Darcy.
And
Hey.
Vincent was just saying that he's starting a new platform where they're going to start talking about different things, crypto, and different things about. What did you say, Vince?
Immersive use of this new technology that's coming down. Tomorrow's technologies, how we can use it today.
Uh huh.
Yeah.
Great. Well, I look forward to that. I'll be on there.
Okay.
So anyway, we got Sophia back, one of our original crypto queens, because this is the Crypto Queens and Kings show. And actually, we're doing something different with the True Rock and Roll Podcast channel because YouTube keeps demonetizing all our videos because we have music in them, which I think is not so nice, but it is what it is. So if you want to watch some of our music video reactions, they're pretty funny, and you can go to our channel and see them. But we're going to start talking about other things. We're going to start reacting to other things, including music, but in a different way. And this is one of the things that we wanted to start doing because we are all wannabe retirees, but we don't have enough money, and we're trying to fix that. So Sophia and I met when when we did a virtual crypto class with London Real, Brian Rose, who taught us what we know about cryptocurrency. And from there, I applied a lot of that stuff to the rest of my life and started on this journey, you know, to more financial literacy and learning about cryptocurrency and the digital age is changing everything, including money. So we want to share that with everybody. And today we're going to talk about what happened in the last month. We do this once a month. We call it our profit and loss meeting, where we talk about what happened with the coins that we have and what we think is going to happen in the next month, and talk about how to do our own due diligence, because we're not trying to give you financial advice. We're just letting you know what we're doing to try and increase our financial literacy in the digital age. So it was an interesting month for crypto. Uh, One of the things that I did this month was I bought a Bitcoin miner. And we'll talk about that in a few minutes. But let's just talk about the crypto news that we had this month. One of the things that happened was we're sort of going sideways. We hit an all-time high of 112,000 per coin, and we've been going sideways for most of the month. And I don't know if everybody notices, but on Sunday the price tends to drop down a little bit. And then what happens is all of the market makers, because I don't know if people know about how the markets work, but the people that are down on the floor in the stock exchange, they have to cover all of the trades for their clients. And if they don't have enough money to make that cover on Monday, they start selling their crypto. So what they're doing is they're putting their money into Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. And when they need money on Monday, they start selling it on Sunday. So one of the things that I noticed was that the price started going down on Sunday. I don't know if anybody else has noticed that, but I have.
Mm-hmm.
And so we want to buy in the dips, right? And I'm not upset about the price being going sideways a little bit because it gives us some time to accumulate before the price starts really going up. So that was a very interesting thing that I learned this month about why that price started going down on Sunday. People start selling, and that makes the price go down. So anyway, we had a good month. We're still holding steady. We're still decoupling from the stock market, which is a good thing. And I think that supply shock is actually going to hit really soon because everybody keeps talking about how they're Donald Trump says he's buying a million Bitcoin for the reserve currency, but there isn't a million Bitcoin out there, right? So what's going to start happening is that the supply shock is really going to kick in. which is why we've all bought our cold wallets, because we're going to start moving our stuff off of the exchanges and into our cold wallets, because we don't want to get stuck holding the bag when they realize that there just isn't any more Bitcoin to have right now. One of the reasons why I bought the Bitcoin mining machine, which is...
I think we lost you. You froze for some reason.
We lost it?
No, she didn't freeze on my end. She must have froze on your end.
Yeah. I can hear everybody. That might happen. Here's Sue Ann. Let's let her in. Sue Ann, are you there?
Yes. Hi.
Oh,
Hey, I'm
Hi,
here.
honey.
For some reason, the connection somehow got twisted up. It froze.
anyway, let's go and look at coin market cap and see what's happening.
Well, no, you were talking about your machine.
Oh, my Bitcoin
that means
miner.
Yeah.
I froze, so for some reason now everybody's back. So okay, we're good.
Can I ask you a question before you go any further?
Yeah,
Hi everybody.
Hi.
that's Sue Ann.
What is the supply? What is it called? Supply shop. What is it called?
Supply shock.
What is that?
It's supply shock is when everybody realizes that there isn't any more Bitcoin to buy right now.
Oh, just so
So
y'all
they're
know,
all talking about how, Donald Trump says he's going to get 1 million Bitcoin for the United States. And all these states are saying they're going to buy Bitcoin and create a reserve currency for themselves. And Wall Street is saying they're going to buy Bitcoin. And everybody says they're going to buy Bitcoin. And pretty soon, everybody's going to realize that there isn't any more Bitcoin to buy. And they're going to be after hours, right? So when you have your Bitcoin on the exchange, it's not really in your possession, right? It's on the books of the exchange. And what they want you to do is leave it there so that you sell it and they can buy it, which is one of the things we talked about before in creating our community, so that, if you're a little bit over leveraged, which means, you put too much money into your investment and you got to take some out because you got bills to pay, right?
Right.
We're encouraging people to create their own communities, because this is our community, and sell it to each other rather than let them have it back.
Got you. Well, I need a cold wallet. I need one of those cold wallets. I'm sorry, you guys. I don't know a lot about this. Andrea is my banker, so she just tells me go here, go there, and I just do it. So just so y'all know.
Yeah, but when we don't want people to do that, we want people to pay attention to their own finances. But I do give you a little remedial help every now and then. But you're doing this on your own, Sue Ann, right?
Yeah.
A lot of people don't have faith in the whole digital money system, but you better learn fast, because that's where we're going for the future.
Well, let me elaborate a little bit, because what's going on right now, we're getting ready to move into mass adoption in this crypto world.
Right.
Only 4 to 8% of the whole world even is aware of this new technology. So as they become, once we get the regulations in place and everything start moving forward, you're going to see mass adoption come in, people scrambling trying to get these cryptos. So the more you have right now, the best to have. And like I said, the word is HODL. This is time to HODL and accumulate. Because right now we're almost on the precipice of actually activating these things. So it's we are before the storm. When the storm comes, then we just sit back and ride the wave as all that volume comes in and pushes our assets up. So that's how we need to look at this. This is actually we're very strategic and we're ahead of time.
Right. And I don't want people to think that it's too late, because we're still early in the adoption phase, right? So, we all have a goal. My goal, and I've heard somebody to say that for millennials right now, the American dream is not to own a house, it's to own a whole Bitcoin. I found that very interesting. You don't have to pay property taxes on Bitcoin. You don't have to fix the roof when it rains too much. You know, you don't have to call a person to come dig out your septic because it's overflowing. All the things that you have to do and pay property taxes, right? You don't have to do any of that. It's the
Yeah.
perfect asset for the 21st century.
Oh, forgot
So,
to mention the stable coins that are coming. It's going to be creating. It's going to absorb a lot of those coins that we don't have enough of. They're going to be creating these banks. Going to be creating stable coins that's going to supplement what we have as well. Yeah.
yeah. Hi, Z. Glad you
Hey,
made it.
how's everybody doing? Me too.
Yes,
Everybody good?
everybody's good.
Excellent.
Hey,
So
Z,
we were
you got the
just
document you can share with the group on what we're doing?
Yeah, I can send it over. I'll after the meeting, I'll contact Andrew to figure out how to send it to her, and then that way she could post it with everybody.
okay. Well, just tell us a little bit about it.
Go ahead, Vince. Vince is I can't take away anything from Vince. Vince has created this whole thing. I've just been a part of it, like sounding board back and forth. But I think it's a excellent project, and I think it will help a lot of people in a lot of different areas, especially like Vince was talking about some of the people who are maybe special needs or whatever. They could actually still be a part of some type of world
Right.
besides this world. Yeah. So Vince, you go ahead. You can explain better than I can. So.
Well, once you give the visual that I send you, it's kind of pretty self-explanatory. That when they digest it, they're not going to answer any questions. It's this I did a AI comparison to on all the stories that have been built. What makes my story different, and
Mm-hmm.
it's I mean with the Star Wars, the Lord of the Rings, all that stuff. I'm a cut above from all those type of stories.
Oh, well, great. We'll talk about it next month.
Yeah.
Spend some time on it. So anyway, this month I bought myself a Bitcoin miner, and I don't know if you can see it, but this is it. It's
Wow.
called it's called the Brains Mini Bitcoin Miner, right? And you got to really think about what you're doing when you're doing the mining thing, because really the most important thing that we're doing is we're becoming part of the Bitcoin community, and we're helping it for the network to stay decentralized, because there are a lot of these companies that have big huge mining pools, right? And the more people who do it that way, the more centralized the whole a network of Bitcoin becomes. So by buying this, it cost me about $300, right?
Mm.
The price has actually gone up since I bought that. I bought that in February. The price has gone up to it's gone up $100, so it's about $400 now. But just by having it and having it connected, I am part of the whole Bitcoin network. So that's a node. And I'm helping to keep the whole community decentralized, which is what we want. We don't want any company, any country, anyone to take that away from Bitcoin. And that's how you remain part of the community, is by having a node. You can install it on your computer if you want to, but I don't want it on my computer because I do lots of things with my computer. I want to have a separate node. So anyway, you can do a couple things with it. You can hook yourself into what they call a pool, right? And basically what happens is you join in with other small Bitcoin miners, and there's a pool where you're given a certain reward for being part of the network every day, right? So I tried that for about a week, and I noticed that I was only making about 5 cents a day of Bitcoin. And I don't think that I want to do that. I think that I would rather use it like a lottery, okay? And one day, soon, I hope, I might get lucky and actually get a block on the chain. And the reward for solving the computation on the block is that you get 3.1 Bitcoin.
That is amazing.
Isn't that amazing? So I said I'd rather just pay the extra $30 a month in electricity, right?
Yeah.
And take a chance on actually getting the 3.1 Bitcoin. So that's
So
why I bought it.
the computational solving mechanism, is it sort of built in an algorithm? You just have to switch.
Right, it's part of the Bitcoin network. Right. So anyway,
Right.
you can either become part of the pool or you can be a solo miner, which is what I decided to be. And I hooked it up to my Tangent Cold wallet. And hopefully one day I'll get up and I'll have 3.1 Bitcoin on my.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. But
Absolutely.
right now, my goal is to continue to accumulate. I hope to be a whole coiner one day just by continuing to put more and more into Bitcoin and some of the other cryptocurrencies too.
Mm,
So that's why I bought the Bitcoin miner. Let's see what happens.
yeah, I think it's
That would
great.
be excellent. That's excellent.
Yep.
Yeah.
So anybody else, just by buying it, you help become part of the community, which is great.
Absolutely.
Okay.
That's well worth it with the chance of getting a whole Bitcoin. Well worth.
Well, 3. You get more than a whole one.
Great.
You get 3.1.
It's amazing.
That is. Damn.
3.1. So I said, I'm going to take a chance. What the heck?
That's right.
There we go. There we go. All right. Let's talk to Bitcoin this month. So right now we're sitting at 107,394. And I am going to vote bullish. I keep telling everybody, join CoinMarketCap. It's a great resource
Yeah.
for you to be able to see, exactly what's going on. So, my motto is when in doubt, zoom out. So let's see what's happened over the last year. Look at that. Last year in June, we were at 61,000 for Bitcoin.
Unbelievable.
Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Look at it going up.
Oh.
Yeah.
Right. So, I heard a great explanation on what being deflationary is, right?
Mm.
And one of the problems with fiat currency is that it loses value over time, right? All fiat currencies do that. And, while it might have cost you $10,000 to buy a house in 1965, today it costs you $1.5 million to buy that same house, right? Because our fiat currency doesn't have the same value it did back in 1965. So the wonderful thing about Bitcoin is that because there will never be any more than 21 million Bitcoin, it is a natural deflationary asset, right? So let's say in 2010, it would have cost you, let's see what it was in 2010. Let's do all time.
2010. What was it? 1,200?
Yeah, around
Yeah,
there.
well,
Yeah, around there.
I think it's around. Yeah.
no, in 2010, the price was $12.83.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Is that amazing? So it probably would have cost you to buy a house. It would have cost you 120,000 Bitcoin, right? Today, if you were to buy a house that cost $500,000, it would cost you 5 Bitcoin. So while fiat currency's value is going down, Bitcoin's value is going up. Which I thought was an amazing way to explain a deflationary asset as opposed to an inflation asset, which fiat currency is. So let's go back to the year view again. And there's been a lot of adoption this year. We may even get to the next halving a lot sooner than we have in the past because there's been so much institutional adoption because Wall Street has finally figured out what this is. And like I said before, we're really lucky because this is probably the first time in history we found out something before they did, which is great. So anyway, let's look and see what's happened over the last month.
The most important part is this represents also the introduction of the alt season. Basically, because once Bitcoin goes up, next thing you know, all the other cryptos goes up, and the one to move last is always XRP. So I'm really looking forward to what's going on right now because, like I said, I'm very excited. Because that and bringing out these stable coins is going to be coming out. I mean, because you got to look at it. You said something about fiat. See, the fiat system is nothing but exchanging debt, paying you in debt, and it has no real structural value. That's why it crashes when everything else goes up. The fiat comes down because it's not backed by really anything.
Right.
And and what's going on with the BRICS, creating their own currency, trying to get away from the U.S. dominating currency. We're in the right place at the right time to be evolving with this new technology.
Right. Right.
It's true.
So anyway, there were 2 times this month when I bought these 2 big dips right here.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. We even went down to like 99,000 and it bounced right back up again. Right.
Wow.
So this is what we
Hold
talked
on.
about.
When did it go down to 99,000?
On the 22nd, last week.
Oh,
What I was
okay.
talking about earlier, when I was saying the market makers are putting their money into crypto, and then when they can't cover their clients' spreads in stocks, they have to put in their own money. So on Sunday, they start selling their crypto. So on Monday morning, they can cover all their trades.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
just something new that I found out about the things that are being done with this wonderful asset, cryptocurrency.
I know.
So I bought some more. When it went down to 99, I bought more, which is why it's really important to pay attention, right?
Yeah.
Even though we're hodling, we need to pay attention because we are at a point right now where we might not be able to have the same kind of impact for the amount of money that we put into Bitcoin because the price is definitely going to start going up soon.
Yeah.
So anyway, I was also listening to another show and I shared it on the channel where they're saying, you need to hodl not only Bitcoin, but XRP too. So I'm not trading XRP anymore. I'm just going to hang on to it and accumulate.
I mean, you can still get it for $2 and some change each.
Right.
So that's, it won't be too long. It won't be $2 for too long.
Right, exactly. So I'm going to hang on to it. I'm not going to trade it anymore. So let's go look at XRP.
Yeah, what I think is going to happen with XRP, it's going to continue to stay low, and then it's going to just boom, shoot up.
Yeah.
Once they have everything in place to take over the typical, what is it? Not Stellar, but the Swift. Once all the banking system has been completely linked and they figured everything out, it's just going to go boom.
You mean
because it has to be stable because nobody is going to want to invest in something that's going up and down. So they have to have something that's stable. So once Stellar and XRP finalize all of that, I think it's just going to explode.
Yeah, well, XRP is the volatile asset. What you're talking about is what they're going to do on the chain, which is they're going to move stable coins around on the chain. But this volatility is good. Volatility is good for us because we make money with it, right? So XRP had a little dip. It went down to $1.93. So I bought some of this month too, right?
Absolutely.
So, and I just want to say again to everybody who's watching, you got to do your own due diligence. This is what we're doing right now. We're looking at what happened over the month and over the last year and making decisions about how we're going to invest our money based on knowledge, not based on what other people say. because people say a lot of stuff. It doesn't always have to be right, you know?
Can you bring up the market for XRP from last year to this year?
Yeah, I'm a hit year right now.
I know what it was last year. It was 0.33. It was 33 pence in British pounds, because that's when I started to buy it.
Right. It was 47 US cents.
There you go.
Right. Look at
Just
that. That's a
32 pence.
beautiful curve, isn't it, for the year? So XRP really, because of the SEC and the lawsuit being resolved, I think that had a lot to do with XRP's ascension.
Yeah.
And at its high, which was in January, it was $3.24. And I expect that it will continue to rise as Vincent said and Z said, when people in the adoption phase really kicks in. So I'm not trading XRP anymore. I'm hodling this. And I'm trying to accumulate. So I'll keep buying a little bit every month and we'll see what happens. But I think this is beautiful. Look at that. So
Also, Judge Torres's decision not to accept the settlement, they're going back to the draw. I think she's going to settle, but she wants to make sure that it's real fair, because SEC has been you can't really trust that entity under the old regime. Now they got a new regime, so hopefully it's more trusted and moving forward. Because and something else we got to talk about is being able to mint. But wrap our tokens, because once we wrap our tokens, that means we could go to other ledgers. We'll be able to transfer different ledgers and be able to stake in those other ledgers and create passive incomes for ourselves as well.
Yeah, and maybe one day we can talk about that a little bit more, Vincent, what staking really is and how we can, and what wrap coins are, because I don't really know a whole lot about it. So we need to get educated on that, if you can do that for us. So I'm going to vote bullish, because 88% of the community believes that XRP is going to continue to grow, and I believe it will too. So I'm going to vote bullish. Right. So what was the next one? Stellar? Was that it? Or Mana?
The lumens, Stella, that's the next one. Yeah.
Stellar Lumen.
What are the call letters for Stellar?
The lumens, the Stellar lumens.
Oh.
XLM.
There it is. Let's look at that. Now, see these coins, they're cheap. This is 23 cents.
Yeah.
Right? And for people who really think that they don't have a lot of money to invest, this is probably a great investment for you, because you can get it cheap, right? We're trying to we're trying to expand our portfolios, not too much, but enough. Some of these
What
things.
is the fundamentals of Stellar?
That's a good question.
I don't know what it's connected to. I don't know Stellar.
Stellar will be handling payments like Visa, MasterCard, just transactions, PayPal,
Zelle.
They'll be on the back end handling the payments through then XRP.
Of the XRP ledger?
The Ripple ledger. So they're
the Ripple ledger. I see.
Right.
Okay. So
what Ripple has done, they made it so that all your coins, stable coins, everything can go across their platform on the blockchain. One of the ways that they're going to do that is what Rich was talking about earlier, is with this particular product, Flare. What that does is that's the wrapping. He was referring to wrapping. So you would take your coin, your XRP, your XLM,
Ethereum.
all of them, and wrap them. That would allow that coin to go through all the different platforms and be traded and sold and be utilized.
Right. So like you mean on the different blockchains, like you can use it on the Ethereum blockchain or
right.
Yeah.
Or Solana.
You'll
Right.
be able to jump off of one blockchain or to another, move across all blockchains.
Right.
Well, normally, if it's
But
not wrapped, it cannot do that.
right. But the wrapping of a token, I'm not really sure, but it appears to me that they're trying to keep it as a fiat currency. The wrapping of it is trying to keep a stronghold on the token to use it as a way of, because that's not deflationary.
Well, one of the things that XRP did, they had a time where they took a picture of all your XRP that was out there, and then Flare came out with a system to give all the XRP holders airdrops in Flare tokens.
Mm-hmm.
These Flare tokens is a special Flare and Songbird. Can't forget Songbird. These are what you call Spark tokens. These tokens are designed to actually enhance your crypto, to make them faster, be able to be used and reduce your gas fee usage, which is going to be very important. You know, because it's like say you have the mining, but that's still going to be expensive. But if you wrap the coins and you mine, then you're creating more mine tokens. And one thing about mine tokens, you can demine them. I mean, you can separate them. You don't have to just keep them in the wrap form if you want to. But me, I keep it because I'm going to be using, you know, instead of me spending any of my assets, I'm going to be probably staking them and leveraging them. You know, instead of, you know, because, you know, we talking about creating generational wealth. Why wait so long to accumulate something to just give it away?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
so Stella looks like it's been on the move this year.
Yeah.
This is a very nice graph. I like this. Let's see what's happened in the last month. So, you know, Vincent, it's interesting that you're saying that because I saw that I had some wrapped ADA in my portfolio.
Oh, ADA's gone to shit.
Yeah. I saw that. Actually, we'll talk about ADA next.
Yeah.
But I had some wrapped coins in my portfolio that just showed up one day. Now I know why that happened. They must have had an airdrop.
Right.
So this is what's happened in the last month. The price is down. So if you're interested in accumulating this, it's probably a good time to do that.
Okay.
Because if we go back to the year, even though it's down this month, if we zoom out to the year again, we think this is a good investment. So this is one that somebody might want to pick up. So I'm going to vote bullish on this too.
Stella.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Stellar and H bar, right? They're kind of very similar.
H bar, but a lot of these companies, you got to investigate, are they ISO 222 compliance? Because if they're not, they're going to be falling by the wayside as well. That's one thing good about XRP and Stellar. Well, see, Stellar is like the person who created Stellar was working with XRP and they had a fallout, and the guy went out and he built Stellar, which is close to XRP, but Stellar is going to be designed to be used domestically, while XRP will be used internationally. That's the difference between the two. Ain't that right, Z?
So this is H bar for the year.
Yeah.
So there has been some controversy around H bar.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what, like you said, everyone should do their own research. But
exactly.
I think it'll still prevail.
Yeah.
Well, it looks pretty good for the year. Let's see what happened in the last month. Because we are not day traders.
No, that's right.
Correct.
That's why I'm sticking with just Bitcoin and XRP for me. I've decided.
Right.
Heavy hodlers.
I'm not going there with these ones.
Right. So the price is down for this month. It's down to 14 cents now. The high was 18. So if you got a little bit of money and you want to try and make a bet on this looks like a good time to buy. And if you zoom out for the year, the graph looks pretty good. So
just the other one, Flare, is the token that will be wrapping a lot of other tokens. So that's one. It's like a penny, right now. So that's one that would be a good one because all these coins that we're talking about are compliant with ISO. So they're going to make money from the utility of the coin. And if they're moving across all these different blockchains, it's going to gain value.
Right. Well, Flare's not looking so good this year. I think I'm going to wait a little bit on this one.
Yeah. But the thing about it is, and this is why it's a sleeper, because it is so cheap.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, it's pennies. You're talking about pennies. So you could mass accumulate those if you just spend $100.
Yeah.
And just leave it alone. It's going to go up because it's going to be used. So that's the only reason I suggested that. Along with XDC, the XDC network is another one. That's another one that's compliant. It's very inexpensive.
Yeah. Well, right now, I'm working on my Bitcoin position, but anybody else, if you think this is a good opportunity to get some because the price is low,
right,
go ahead. But I'm going to work on my Bitcoin. So I'm going to vote bearish on this right now. Let's see what's happened over the last month. Okay, so I think this one has a little time, I think it would probably be better to vote to if you're looking for the coins. What was it? That was 23 cents.
XLM. Sui's
Stellar Luna, right. Stellar Luna was 20. I think I would rather that one right now. So I'm going to vote bearish. But, like we said, everybody got to do their own research. This is my research.
For sure.
Right? So I heard about another coin called SHX, Stronghold. And this one is a penny. So I put a video on the channel about this particular coin.
Oh, wow.
Because I think this might be a good opportunity. I just can't. It might be on Binance. It's not on any of the exchanges that I actually have an account on right now. But I think I'm going to open up an account on Binance and buy some of this. Do you have a Binance account, C?
No.
Vince?
No. Yeah, he doesn't either. Yeah.
You don't?
Robinhood, Uphold, still probably have some Coinbase and Crypto.com, but don't use those anymore. Just pretty much Uphold.
Okay.
And then just take them over and put them onto our wallets.
Yeah, so this one had a lot of movement this month, and I'm going to zoom out for the year just to see what's been going on over the year with this. Well, that looks pretty good, actually. It looks like it's consolidating and moving up slowly, so I'm going to vote bullish on this one.
What is it?
Huh?
What is it? A layer one? Is it a token that's connected to something else?
I think it's a layer 2 coin, actually. But like I said, I got to do more research. I really need to go back and look at that video again because I don't know a whole lot about it. I'm just looking at the charts, and it looks like it's doing, it looks like it's doing pretty good. But you're really good at that, Sophia.
Oh, well, thank you. I don't think so.
Yes, you do really good research. I tend to look at the trends, right, as opposed to whether the coin
fundamentals. I'm interested in the fundamentals.
Yes, so you can share that with us next meeting.
Okay.
And for the month, that looks pretty good. So I think I'm going to buy some of this one if I can figure out where it is.
Yeah. Stronghold.
Okay.
Yeah, I've heard of that one before.
You have?
It should do well. Yeah. I just I was talking to somebody and they just kind of briefly went over that, but really didn't get into it. But he said it's another one that's kind of a sleeper. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's go look at Mana. I've got some of this. It's at 24 cents.
Wow.
Yeah. And the price is down this month. So probably a good time to accumulate if you want to do that. Let's look at the year, see how it's done. Well, that's been up and down this year. What do you think, Z?
Well, it's a sore spot for me and Vince because when we got into the crypto space, we actually bought we had 20,000. I think we must have like 8 cents or something.
Uh-huh.
So we had about 20,000 of it. So 4 days before an announcement was made, it was maybe 20 cents. So the announcement, Facebook said they're changing their name to Meta.
You see what I mean?
Right?
It's crazy.
So somebody told us, a mutual friend told us, to get into XLM and get rid of the Mana because the price of XLM was cheaper then too. So we did. That after the Facebook changed to Meta, they talked about Decentraland. Mana went up to $4.
Wow.
So we weren't doing our research and our homework. We were ahead of things.
Yeah, because the people could have pump and dump it.
Exactly. But just
Right.
listening to somebody else instead of going what we were doing, which was just holding, we would have had good money. But
if the people have made the coin.
You told her how we lost money?
Yeah.
88. Oh man.
No, on Mana.
Oh Mana, yeah, we lost. Oh man, I was sick. A friend of mine told her, "Oh, you should go and get rid of Mana because they go get you some Shiba," and we did it. Shiba went up, but it was coming down fast, and our Mana within the next couple of days, it went from like 23 cents to $5.40 a coin.
Wow.
I was sick because I had thousands and thousands of those coins. Oh, you live and learn. So that's when we first got into this.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's why I say I got a lot of experience in losing money. Now I'm about to go on another direction, making money.
Yeah. Because the people that actually make the coin, you have to work out how much of the supply they own, because they will pump and dump it. They will raise the price of it because they own 20 or 30%. Sometimes they're owning so much of the supply
that they can just pull the rug.
They can pull the rug.
Example, His Orange Majesty, when he created the Trump coin.
Yes.
That's another point, in fact. That's exactly the point. Yeah.
Right. And he rug pulled everyone.
So we have to be careful. For me personally, when I heard that about the Trump coin, I made the decision to just stick with Bitcoin and XRP. I'm not buying any other more coins. I'm just Bitcoin all the way.
Yeah.
That's a good move.
That's a great strategy. But don't undercut XDC. That's another one that we need to actually think. I think that's like 2 cents a coin.
What's it called?
XDC. But what are the fundamentals of that? Who made it? What's the supply? What's the total loan?
It's got a market cap of 980 million.
And how much do the creators own of that supply?
Exactly. Good question, Sophia.
Yeah.
That's why you're here. Let's see what the news is.
It's one of those ISO 200 sanctioned coins.
Wait, now there's layer 0 integration?
Yep.
That's interesting.
Layer 0.
Yeah. From Sao Paulo to the blockchain.
Wow.
Interesting. Let's
interesting.
Let's keep an eye on this one. It's 6 cents right now. Let's see what's happened over the last year.
What's its use case? XDC. You said Sao Paulo. Are they using it for real world assets.
Parallel to the blockchain, how LIQI and XDC are reshaping asset insurance
No, issuance.
issuance. Sorry,
That's okay.
with $500 million in tokenized assets. Interesting.
But what does that mean?
Yeah.
That doesn't mean anything.
Yeah. Well,
Because
what are
that's
the
just a
tokenized
sales
assets?
pitch.
Yeah. I want to know what the tokenized assets are because
Absolutely.
some people out there want to tokenize everything, right? They
Right.
want to tokenize a lake. They want to tokenize the street.
Well,
Right.
some of these coins work good with, say, for instance, like in the real estate. Some of these tokens will be real valuable in moving NFTs and create NFTs and things of that nature. So, that's it. They are going to be interoperable, interchangeable, and working together. All the X coins are definitely going to be working together. That's it. We just wait for all season to go ahead. They all going to do the new markup. And my goal was anything I bought that's an altcoin, eventually I'm going to convert to XRP.
So interesting.
A lot of tokens. 38 billion already in
Yeah.
total supply,
Yes.
but only 16 circulating.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about. I'll do some research on
This
this.
is interesting, Sophia, because we were just talking about the number of owners, right? So we were talking about the number of owners and the number of buyers is increasing. Probably a big thing on the way. So that's interesting. Let's look at that.
Only 48% of the world even are aware of these assets. So we got to remember that. So when all seasons comes, you got to have some to be able to ride this wave that's coming.
I see what you mean.
Right.
I see. Yeah, that's
Well,
my
it's
strategy.
certainly cheap, isn't it? If you put $10 in, you might get lucky.
Yeah.
It's cheap,
Yeah. I'll look into that one.
Okay.
XDC.
XDC. All right. What's next?
You were going to look at ADA.
ADA. That's right.
Really gone to the dogs. I don't know what's happening with ADA.
Yeah, if I need to sell something, it's probably going to be this. I'll buy back in again if I think it's going to do something. This is it over the last year, though. It had a little
remember
comeback.
back in April, it went up by 35-40%. Not back in April, just before Christmas. It was really good.
They was affiliated with
in December, right?
They was affiliated strongly with Ethereum, though. That's one of the things. They was really affiliated strong with Ethereum. Ethereum had to come out now with a whole new process for that coin. They just did just recently because they couldn't compete with everything else. Is faster, cheaper.
Yeah, they are definitely trying to rebrand themselves.
Them gas fees are killing people. That's
right, and there's other platforms for people to trade on, so they're just sort of abandoning
Solana.
Right. Yeah. Although Solana, for me, Solana is just the meme coin hell, right? I think it's drawn a lot of money out of our bull run, right?
Yeah.
Because everybody wants to suddenly get rich and they get the rug pulled, right?
Solana gonna get acquired. It's gonna get acquired by one of the big boys. Their technology is too great for them not to be, if they cannot do the scrutiny from, getting the regulations, they're gonna get acquired by one of the big boys who already got ISO 2 qualifications and
Who? Solana?
Yeah, the only two coins that are actually sanctioned is XRP and Bitcoin. Bitcoin got grandfathered. XRP got theirs through going through the court and fighting the SEC and things that it was deemed as one of the ones that has the regulations embedded in their system. These other ones don't.
So anyway, I got a little bit of ETH and a little bit of Solana. I'm not buying any meme coins, but I will invest in the blockchain. So Solana's holding on to its value so far
Yeah.
for me. So let's see what happened over the month. Yeah, the price is down. So if you want to buy some ADA, it's probably a good time to do that.
Yeah.
You know,
It's just that I don't
I'm gonna
know.
go bullish on that.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else anybody wants to look at?
IOTA. IOTA.
IOTA. Right.
IOTA.
Okay, IOTA. Let's look at you for the last year. Interesting. It had a little bump right here, right around Christmas. And
Look
then
at the price.
the price is 15 cents.
And
What is IOTA?
And it's ISO compliant. Beautiful.
Tell everybody what ISO compliant means.
So it's an international standard. So all the different banking systems globally will have to have all their like stable coins, any of their to a certain standard.
By August 25th.
That's just a way of them trying to control the narrative and the actual sort of the going against the deflationary aspect of the whole Bitcoin thing. I think it's very interesting that they put out this ISO. It's just a way of
Making us believe that we need them to tell
exactly
making
trying to
us
stay relevant.
tell us what's good and what's not.
Yeah.
Right.
And so I'm not really sure what this, they've brought out this ISO thing and it's going to be compliant. I think that could be a bit of a ploy. I'm not really sure what that's about.
What it kind of does is it weeds out the scam coins, in a way, because if everyone's going to be using cryptos to move money around, it should be in a secure manner. So if you got coins that are like less secure or maybe scam coins, so to speak, then
there's
it kind of helps with that.
How can they even predict that? There's like how many millions of coins?
And that's what they want to do. They want to reduce that amount because it is too many. People are just just making them out of nothing. So they're trying to make a closer arena for people to have security. That's pretty much with the coins, because everybody's coming out with a coin, but it doesn't do anything, and then people are losing a lot of money.
Crypto will be.
That's why Bitcoin is the only real coin.
Real decentralized.
Exactly.
It's the only real decentralized asset.
Yeah,
it's true. Because it's proof of work. It's not proof of stake, right?
Absolutely.
It doesn't matter what rich person has bought a whole lot of it.
Exactly.
And that same rich person can pull everything out of it if they want to as well, right? Mm-hmm. The reason why Bitcoin is that wonderful deflationary asset is because the only way you can get in on Bitcoin is to buy it like everybody else.
Yeah.
You may have more money to buy it with, but you can't, say, okay, we're going to split it 7 ways now, right?
Right. Well, and it's the principled coin.
Right.
It's the one coin that is saying F you to the centralized system that has caused so much pain to everyone on the planet. It's
absolutely. Still causing so much pain.
And still causing so much pain. And it was created for that purpose.
Yeah. All wars are bankers' wars.
The one disadvantage of that though is being able to put real world assets like gold and things, and be able to digitize it. It's not that good for that. Now the other ones you can, and that's something that's coming. That's coming real fast. The digitization of gold, lithium, silver, properties, name it, it's coming. All that is coming.
Yeah, there already are some gold stable coins. Like I think there's one called PAX. Yes, this is a gold stable coin. So it's pinned to the price of gold. Now,
Right.
I think that this is actually something that that maybe you might want to think about instead of it being, instead of your stable coin being pinned to the US dollar or the pound or the euro, have it pinned to gold. That's something that people might want to think about as well. Let's see what's happened over the last year with gold, because this is pinned to the price of gold, and gold is definitely
Up,
on
up,
its
up, 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 up. And
Yeah,
silver,
but not in comparison again to Bitcoin. We're talking what, 12%? As opposed to 130%, 50%.
Oh, definitely. Bitcoin is, nobody can get the kind of returns you can get on Bitcoin.
Absolutely.
but the one thing though is gold has been suppressed in the United States to keep it at its low value. 'Cause if it wasn't
Yeah, but that's
suppressed,
because the United States doesn't have any gold.
well,
There's
They've
no
been
reserve.
taking delivery. They've
no
been
reserve.
taking delivery of something like 4,000 pounds a month from the UK.
But that's what they've told us. There's a reserve. Where is the
Right,
gold?
we don't know. We don't know.
don't
But
know.
what we do know is that as long as it's legal to own gold, the price is probably going to keep going up. But it will
Right.
not. It will not ever eclipse Bitcoin ever.
No.
So,
but the
and
hidden,
I think everybody should think about having some of these assets as well.
Yes,
Some
as a
real gold,
diverse
some
portfolio,
real silver.
sure.
Right,
the
right.
hidden
I
asset
like
though is
silver.
silver.
But understand still what it is.
Right.
The hidden gem is going to be silver though. Silver, because silver historically has been 15% of the price of gold. It has not
Right.
gone up, and it's still being held back. And the demand on silver now and technology, how it's going to be used, is going to create that scarcity that's going to cause the price to go up. So it's time to start hollering silver for now.
I am a
But
hot.
there's no shortage of silver or gold, is there? You can still mine gold and silver.
Absolutely. But what's happening is that people are losing faith in currency altogether, right?
100%.
So that's what's going to make gold and silver go up, is because people look at that as being a real asset instead of just a piece of paper.
Yeah,
right.
Fair enough.
And then also, I think people are moving away from paper gold. They want to actually hold it themselves, just like we want to be sole custodians of our Bitcoin, right? So is there a silver stable coin?
I wonder.
Yes. Let's look.
Right.
There is. And that's the price of silver today.
Yep.
Right.
Look at this.
Mm.
That's some nice volatility there. Look at that. Yeah, there's a lot of room for growth with silver. This is over the last year. So it's definitely moving up.
Interesting.
Wow. Look at that. That's this month.
Wow.
Yeah. This doesn't have a very large market cap.
No.
Not yet.
138.
Not yet.
It's coming.
Yeah. But I would say hold physical silver,
I've got physical. I hold physical silver. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I think that's right. I think hold physical silver is better.
Yeah.
Than just these exchanges.
And then, you can also, collect, special edition coins, right? That actually have some rarity and a little bit of additional value too. That would be good. All right. Anything else? Anybody?
Maybe ETH, actually. I'm kind of.
Yeah, we had a look at ETH for.
I know it's not been doing great, but it still has a place in
And
the
it's still
cycle.
got a market cap of $293 billion.
Wow. Jesus Christ.
It's still good. ETH
It's
is
still
good.
relevant, isn't it?
It is. It is still relevant. And, there's been a lot of stuff in the news about them, changing their philosophy and And
Tariff.
also,
Yeah.
right, and talking about lowering the gas fees, because I think that that's really what has rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. Is that, they feel ripped off because the gas fees are so high. You want to send somebody $200 worth of Bitcoin, and if you do that, you're going to end up spending $28 to do it.
It's crazy.
And it's crazy. So hopefully they will change that. This is ETH for the last year. It hasn't had a good year,
No.
It went up in December a bit, right around Christmas time, to about 4,000, and then now it's back down around 2,500.
Wow.
I'm expecting it going back down even further once regulations hits the mainstream.
Okay.
They don't have what the other coins are. All the new generation coins have.
Right.
The scalability part is not even close.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Let's look at Solana too.
So I like Solana.
Yeah. So Solana's at 149 right now. It's been higher. It was
Sideways, isn't it?
Yeah. It was up in December, wasn't it?
It
Yes.
was. Yeah.
Look at
it's like
what it was in December.
160.
Right. It was at 256 on
wow.
November 22nd. Yeah.
Oh, I'm thinking in pounds. Sorry, I keep thinking in pounds.
Yeah. Right. This is dollars.
Yeah.
But I think Solana is still a good coin to invest in too.
I think so too.
But
So,
y'all say Bitcoin. There is one more out there, another giant. It's called Yearn Finance. Yearn Finance. YERN. They're up there. They're one of the big boys. Yearn
Yearn.
Yearn Finance.
Yearn Finance. I see.
Let me go back.
I've been wanting something for so long, but it was so expensive at one time. Couldn't get it. Yeah. I'm a minnow in the land of whales.
Yearn Finance.
Okay. Got to be careful when you're looking at these things too, because you pick the wrong one.
Yeah.
They do that intentionally. Yearn Finance. Okay, so this is it over the last year. It was up in December too.
Resilience is top of one. Yeah, 5,000.
I think it is right now 5,000 a coin right now. So
Right.
What is it?
Yeah, what is this?
Yearn Finance is a whole like it's its own self-contained system. It just like what they're creating, they already have it. I mean, this is a place where the big money stacks their coins and things of that nature. Other than Bitcoin, they stack it with your Yearn Finance, and the other one is Maker. Maker is another one that's coming and growing. That's growing too. But these are all self-contained systems. It's already got all the bells and whistles and things. What they're gonna be able to do is come in and enhance movement through the blockchains. These things are already there to help.
Okay.
And the ones I'm getting designed right now is going to be helping them be able to move from chain to chain and help create the whole ecosystem for this crypto.
Right.
Yeah.
So it is a decentralized coin. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay. So it operates on its own blockchain.
Yearn Finance.
Yeah. We're going to keep track of this one. Okay. What else? Let me think.
I like DOT. DOT.
Oh, that's Sophia's favorite. She loves DOT.
It was. It's completely been dire for the last 18 months. It's done nothing. A lot of people are disappointed with DOT. I am very disappointed with DOT. I've decided not to accumulate it anymore.
It's still got a big market cap, $5 billion.
DOT gonna shock.
You think?
Yeah, I think so. Yes. right now they shaking the trees, getting all the people to get out of these stuff. So and then
This is true.
They're gonna turn around
Right.
and buy up everything, and then when we want to get back in, it's gonna be so cost prohibitive that it's gonna be, So get it now while it's cheap.
Yep, it went up in December too.
I was buying it at $7 2 years ago. Well, now it's like, look at it,
Yeah. Now it's
$3.36.
Let's see what's happened over the last month. And Chainlink.
Yeah, Chainlink is nothing good.
Yeah, what's happened with Chainlink?
It's going sideways. It really hasn't moved.
I like Chainlink.
Polkadot didn't have a good month.
Chainlink is supposed to be connected with a lot of interoperability with all of the real world assets.
Mhm.
But I don't know what's happened with DOT and Chainlink and ADA. I mean, I don't know.
Like you said, Sophia, for the long term, right? Like we talked about at the beginning of the show, we're going to stick with Bitcoin and XRP. We're hodling those. These are all things to trade with if you got a little extra money and you need to put a little something into it. These are good and they're cheap.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Chainlink hasn't really done anything. It was at 15 at the beginning of the month. It's at 13 now over the last year.
Strong buy.
Really?
Yeah, this confuses me.
I know, right?
It's not what I want to see.
No.
I'm gonna be a little bearish on that.
It's supposed to be doing a lot of amazing projects and
right, because we had a lot of good luck with Chainlink last year, didn't we? We did.
Well,
in terms of trading, because I was consistently, trading these Polkadot and Chainlink and these other coins, and I was making, maybe $150 a month.
Wow.
Just on those trades.
Well, they got scared off though when the SEC was talking about going after all these other coins and this, that.
Okay.
That's what's been holding them back. But now, like I say, this once Judge Torres release her final verdict on the XRP lawsuit with the SEC, that's gonna catapult everybody else to. It's gonna make everybody feel more comfortable. Things they have directions.
Right.
The SEC has been suppressing the whole market.
The wonderful SEC. Oh, we love the SEC, don't
we? We just miss we miss the old Gary Gensler.
Bye, Gary.
Bye, Gary.
Bye, Gary. Anyway. They serve at the pleasure of the president at the SEC.
Now, Gay served at the pleasure of Elizabeth Warren.
And the Federal Reserve.
And the Federal Reserve, yes.
So, Dorcine, where are you? You driving?
Yeah. Where's she at?
She's in the car. Can't hear her, though. She's not on mute. Maybe it's just not a good place now.
Is Di or Sue Ann, they still on?
Diane was sick.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, she had to go lay down. And Sue Ann was getting ready to go do a shoot somewhere. So
that's cool.
She was on for a little while.
That's cool. Hey,
yeah.
I hope Diane feels better.
This is better than any other crypto information networks you can find on YouTube, because over here y'all actually goes into everything line by line, space by space, and that's really something that
This is what I love.
I like what y'all do with it. I like this format.
Right. Well, thank you, because that's what we want it to be, right? We want people not to be afraid of this marketplace and know how to do their research.
Yeah.
Because it's the future.
What I'll do is put you on the Queen and Queen. Okay. And it's the end of the month. And
that's why I created Arcadia.
And you just say, well, look, I don't understand this.
Right.
Learn while you learn.
Just learn. We just want you to learn.
Right.
Can you hear me? Nobody
yes.
Hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh,
No, you said what you said was right, Dorcine. We just want people to learn what we've learned. We're sharing that knowledge, you know.
You didn't
yeah.
you
So
didn't
I
share
just
no
got a
trade
new
secrets.
member.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Oh,
join.
we do.
Oh, good.
Hi,
Her Texas friend. Hi.
Hey, how
how
you
are
doing?
you?
Fine.
You didn't share
Good.
no trade
Well,
secrets. You're good. You
Okay.
didn't share nothing. Speak no secrets.
yes, I'm a newbie. I'm gonna she's gonna talk me through it to get me through so I can do some investing in Bitcoin. So I'm excited.
Right.
Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah,
it
well,
is
that's what we
exciting.
want. We
Yeah.
want people to learn and approach this from a position of knowledge and not just what
Yes.
people say, right?
Yes.
Mm.
Yes.
And have some fun talking about it.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Have
right.
some
'cause
fun
it's-
making money too.
Yes,
yeah,
that's the
that's
idea. You
that's
know,
right.
we always did better as a community when we did things with each other, and we
We
need to
did.
start doing that again. So
Yes.
that's what
We
this
do
is all
need a
about.
community. We need community.
Right. We got to build community again.
Yes.
You know
Yeah.
that. You're down in Texas. Right.
Yes.
Down in
Okay.
Texas.
The art of leveraging is something we got to learn how to leverage what we have.
Leverage.
Right.
Yeah. Because my parents didn't teach me any of that.
No, mine didn't either.
Well, I mean, and school didn't teach it to us either. They
Nope.
just wanted us to be good laborers and
Mm-hmm.
keep filling up the debt bucket, right?
Mm.
Yep.
Job market. Go out there and get in that job market.
Yeah.
This
Get a
is
good
Exactly.
job.
No, no, no. Don't learn how to make money with money like we do.
Right.
You keep working till you
this is a
drop.
new financial freedom
Till you
tour.
drop. That's
Right.
Keep working.
Like I said, you know, we're all wannabe retirees. We just don't have enough money yet, so we're trying to get it.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Well, no, I'm a retiree, but I want to modify and enhance my retirement.
Okay. Well, I'm not yet. I'm trying to get where you are, Vincent. So we'll all
Okay.
make it one day. So this was great. So Sophia came on. She's in Bali. We got somebody from Texas.
Great.
Oh man, Bali!
Yeah.
I want to visit. I
Yeah.
want to visit Bali.
So,
I
Yeah,
know, right?
do you
It's
live?
amazing.
You live in Bali?
it's yeah.
No,
No.
no, I don't. I just decided that for my 60th that I would travel to Ghana, and I did it. And then I thought I'm going to travel to Bali too, and I did it. And because it has a wonderful sort of yoga and health sort of holistic
Oh,
sort of
somebody left.
theme to Bali. So
Mhm.
I'm really loving it so far. It's great.
And
So
spiritual too.
that's
Very
awesome.
spiritual.
I
Very.
have a 25-year-old cousin who's going to do a yoga retreat there with his partner, a young lady,
Oh,
next
wow.
month in August. Yeah,
Oh, interesting.
yeah. No, I'm sorry, this month in July. Yeah, yeah.
In
He's
July.
coming there. It's first time he's ever been to Bali. Yeah.
Wow.
And,
Wow.
and don't underestimate Zanzibar, the African oasis.
Where's Zanzibar?
I
That's
hear
not near.
From Tanzania, isn't
my
it?
brother.
No, yeah, it's right off the coast of the Indian Ocean, Southern
Right.
Indian Ocean.
Oh.
Right. Below the Seychelles, I think.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yeah. That's another place I want to go to, the
Me
Seychelles.
too.
Oh, I love it. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I want
But
to.
Well, we're going to have
Exactly.
enough
Now-
money for all of us to go everywhere.
I know,
Okay.
right?
We're going to claim it. Gotta
We are
claim
going to claim it.
We're
I
gonna
think
have
Zanzibar.
live meetings. We're all gonna be at all these live events.
Mm-hmm.
I know. I
Yeah,
know.
and I also want to make it to a Bitcoin conference.
Yes,
That's on my
that
bucket list.
I would love to do.
Yeah, maybe we'll organize a trip for us to go to the Bitcoin
Oh, that-
conference
It's
when they have.
best to go to the Bitcoin conference in Miami, the Bitcoin capital. That's where right there. You go down by Billionaires Row and be amazed on all these crypto billionaires that's down there from all over the place. I was there 2 years ago, and I can't wait to go back.
Wow.
Well, I'm not far away from there, so that is actually a possibility. Yeah, and Dorcine is down here a lot too in Florida, so yeah,
Wow.
let's do
It
it.
was just in Las Vegas, wasn't it?
Tell me
Bitcoin conference.
Yeah, there was one in Las Vegas. Sue Ann lives in Vegas. I was thinking that next time they have one in Vegas, I might go out there too. But those are all the things on our list of things
On
to
our
do.
list. Absolutely.
But what I like about the Florida one though is that once you get your money there, it can't be extradited, can't be taken away because Florida has those protections in place for your assets.
Mm-hmm.
One of the reasons why I live here.
Wow. We're
Yeah.
really
No
struggling
state
with that
taxes.
in the UK right now.
No state taxes.
Yeah, the UK is no fun right now.
No fun at all.
So
the next sort of step in the education of holding Bitcoin is actually I'm looking to find a country where I can become a citizen, because in England they're still saying that they're going to take up to 35% in capital gains on your Bitcoin when you off-ramp it.
Isn't that nice?
That's nice.
But guess what? You can reinvest it. You can
Isn't that lovely? Yeah. Well, this is another reason why we need our cold wallets, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. But it doesn't matter anymore. What they're saying in the UK is that the exchanges have made a deal with the Inland Revenue, which is the tax system, and they can tell when you've moved it, when you sold it, when you bought it, because they have infiltrated the exchanges to give them that information. So it doesn't matter whether you put it into a cold wallet, they will see that you've put it into.
They still want you to pay the capital gains on it.
And they still want you to pay the debt slavery system. They're just keeping it going. I mean, it's just shocking. But it is what it is.
Shocking that they're forcing you into that. That is shocking.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right,
Well,
guys.
I'm sorry. Another plus is that supposedly we're supposed to get, for American-made crypto, a tax-free.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's what they're touting. Hopefully we'll get it.
Hopefully you get it. It would be amazing.
Right. And Florida's sort of leading the way on that.
Yeah. We all know that when America sneezes, we fart in England. So whatever happens in your country, we're likely to benefit.
That's funny. That's funny.
One of those old wet farts too.
I know, right?
You might want to copyright that.
Oh, that's just British slang. That's just British.
Oh, that was wonderful. All right, guys.
Okay.
We can keep going. It's a podcast if you want to.
Well, thank you, Andrea. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah, that's our meeting for this month. So it's going to be up on the True Rock and Roll Podcast channel.
Okay.
Look at it. I will put a link there, and I'll try and get it up this week.
And share my little documents that we gave you, so we can have a little more discussion next month on what we're creating over here. By then, because I'm going to do a soft launch into a podcast with it.
Okay.
And I say it's going to be a learning tool that's going to teach tomorrow's technology today.
Okay.
Okay. Well, if you need a channel to put it on, we can put it on my channel. So our channel, because it's not just mine.
Wonderful.
Okay, everybody. It was wonderful to see. I really look forward to seeing you guys every month.
Oh, likewise.
Likewise.
Ditto.
Hey, peace and love, everybody. Peace and love.
Peace and love.
Peace and love.
Bye, everyone.
Peace
and
love.
Bitcoin.
Bye-bye. And Bitcoin forever.
Forever and ever.
All
right,
bye-bye.
Sophia.
Yeah, take care, Andrea.
Okay. Talk to you guys next month.
Soon.
Bye.
Bye.